Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, but of course you knew that because you had to push the button. Thanks for coming for a few minutes. And as the title said, we're going to talk about speedometer cables for a minute. So if you're one of those guys that said, I want my speedometer being dead nuts accurate, you might need to get another car. Because think about this a minute. The speedometer head, I should have had one of those too, but the speedometer head has a little watch spring in it. And as the cable turns, it offsets that little watch spring and makes the needle come up. That's how it works, okay? Well, 50-year-old watch spring, who says it's the same tension? You could turn this thing perfect and it could be 10 miles an hour off because the head is 50 years old and it may not be the same tension. You follow? Best way to do this, talking about the speedometer head first. When you get it all in, go for a ride. Get your GPS with your Waze and it shows the speed. Get to 60 miles an hour and put a Sharpie mark on your speedometer. That's 60. Put 40. Put little marks on there because it won't be the same as, very few of them are the same. If it is the same, buy yourself lunch or something. But the speedometers will not be accurate. But if you want it to move, okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, the speedometer, there are two cables. There's a cable coming out of the speedometer and goes to the cruise control transducer. You've got your speedometer head. Here we go. We need some more juice. There we go. You got your speedometer head. Okay. And the cable, speedometer head looks like this. Here's, if you're going to pull out the end of it, you pull it out from the top. Put a little lube on it and stick it back in there. It's got this top on it. It looks like that. And you just run your hand behind there. See, we should have brought that speedometer head. You run your hand behind here, run it up the cable, and you'll feel a little bar. Push the bar all the way to the speedometer head, and this will come out. Okay? All right. This is called the upper cable. Now, the upper cable, the ATP is the brand. It's a Y810. Y810. Nice big old long cable. Now it goes, here's your engine cover. And right here, when you look down, there's your cruise transducer right here. I think I had one laying here. Cruise transducer. This cable comes down, goes across here, and goes into the cruise transducer. And it is a large end like this, and it screws in. Okay? Screws into here. Then you got a lower cable. Here's your transmission. Lower cable goes down and plugs into the transmission. It's the lower cable. You ever seen your speedometer and it starts pump, 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 pump? You say, well, I need to lube this cable. It could be true. But also, this cruise transducer has a 1-to-1 gear ratio in here because it spins from the transmission, spins the cruise transducer, and then spins it on up to the speedometer. This has got a lot of friction in it, okay? Now, if your cruise control works, it's a cute little thing, isn't it? It's kind of like a high school science project. It's got a little thing that spins. When you push the button, it grabs it and it spins around with it. It's really cool. If it works, then you can get new cables. The lower cable number is a Y802, an ATP brand again. So that one goes down here. But if you're not using your cruise control, my suggestion, if it's not working or you don't know or whatever, I would just take it all out, because if you really want to use a cruise control, I would get a new Rostra, R-O-S-T-R-A. It's a 1228, I believe, is universal cruise control. Call me if you want to do that. There's some other parts you need, the pulse generator and then the controller. But if you want a cruise control, it won't use this transducer anymore. And the single best thing you can do to have your speedometer work is to bypass that cruise control transducer. Take this cable and go directly into the transmission. So you take it out of here and route it back down, and it'll go right into the transmission. So you'll be feeding the speedometer head directly from the transmission. See, it's a big old long thing here, so it'll make it. Run it down here. You may want to put some insulation on it to keep it away from the header. But anyway, so if you nix the original cruise control, you can go directly to it with one Y810 cable. If you do want to use cruise control, that's fine. I'll have another video out about how to test and run this cruise control. Actually, it's a pretty nice cruise control. It doesn't have resume or up down speed. It's just on and off. It's a mechanical device, but they really did work pretty well. Okay, so your speedometer, it probably will not be accurate. Understand that. But if you like it to move and all that kind of stuff, it's good. When we go on the road, we use Waze. You know, it's got a speedometer built under the thing, and you know that it's accurate. If you get a new Mac Dash, they have GPS-driven speedometers in them, so you won't be using a cable at all. If you have problems with your system, say it doesn't work at all, say your speedometer doesn't work at all, and you notice that you only have first gear and reverse, that'd be the governor gear. There's a gear, see, I should have brought that too. It's a small gear inside the governor. It's a sacrificial plastic gear that if this thing jams up, it eats the gear so it doesn't eat your transmission, which is a good thing. But even a 50-year-old gear, they wear out. And what you'll find is if that governor gear wears out, you'll have first and reverse. If that's the case, you can call one of the specialty shops. You can give me a call. I can send you one. I got a pile of them. But they're 15 or 20 bucks or something like that. I would actually carry a speedometer, the governor gear with you. Now that's different than the speedometer gear. The speedometer cable has its own gear that's in the head of the transmission. If your speedometer doesn't work, but you have 3 gears, it's probably the speedometer gear. But if you only have first gear, it is the governor gear. Make sense? And if you do have that problem, well, give me a call. We'll see if we can round up a governor gear for you. All right. If you're running an original dash and you want this speedometer to work, there you go. This is what you need. Thanks for your time. If you think this is part of the database, so whenever you're working on it, you say, well, I don't need this, and I'm working fine. About 3 or 4 months from now, that thing's going to go out, and you go, wow, he talked about that. That's what this is in the database for. You can go to the database. I'm not sure. I might do a separate box for you ranch hands for a speedometer. But you can go there, and all this stuff will be there. All right. Well, look, thanks again for your time. I hope there's something in here that you can use. We'll see you next time.